This is one of the best airbrush compressors, period. It checks all the important boxes out there, starting with being quiet. As you can see, I can run it, even being in front of me on the way to camera, and you can still hear me. It's a really good quality product. It has enough power to supply for any airbrush up to 0.5mm with a standard air cup. It has a lot of features, like comfort features and functionalities in terms of cooling. A lot of cooling on this compressor, that's why it's called Cool Tooty. And also it has really good price point. And on top of all this, the support for this compressor, technical support, warranty, everything else, and quality control, it's all done here in the United States, in the state of Florida, where I'm sitting right now. So this model called Cool Tooty, and it's the third generation. It's the third generation of our Tooty compressor, first introduced in 2018. And well, let's get a little history lesson here. So that's where it all started, back in 2018. This is the first generation of our Tooty compressor. As you can see, it has the green insert. And well, that's probably the main reason we switched from it after selling just a few hundreds to this guy. Of course, I'm kidding, we're like orange more here, but it's not the main reason. The main reason was the weak spot right here. This curved tube, which connects the air tank with the motor, has the problem with the transportation, or especially if you were using compressor at home and you knocked it down and it fell on the side, because the motor is much heavier. I mean, it's just heavy compared to air tank. It can bend a little, it can just move. And this movement is enough to break the connection right here in the tank, and you're done pretty much. The air is going to be coming out of there. We have to deal with it here in our facility, get this broken piece out of the compressor tank. It's like a lot of work, and we didn't want to do it, so came up with the second generation of Tooty. By the way, this combination is still on the market for a lot of competitors. If you look at the competitor product, you'll see the similar design. This is our next generation, so that's still the metal tube here, but it's more sustainable for transportation. At least we cut down. I mean, we had like 7%, I think, around that defect rate, just because of transportation. It can experience some vibrations, some movement here and there, especially after some of the company's drivers, not company, of course, just drivers, throwing it like 20 feet to your door. That was a problem. So even though we checked them all, it still was a problem. So this is the solution. And in terms of the shipping, the box was improved too. I don't have the box here, but the box actually became like 50% larger, so I have to pay more for delivery of those, but at least they were delivered safely every time. We just completely eliminated the problem. And of course it came with orange, which we like much more here, so we're super happy with this model. And it was selling and still selling actually. We sold thousands of this model. Ton of great reviews. It's a really good compressor for the price. It still is. We're gonna support it for some more time. I don't know how much longer we're gonna have them, how many more we're gonna bring, but they're still out there. But that's the second generation, and now replaced with the third. And just so you can see the main differences here are, well, first, the handle. This is much more comfortable now. It's a metal handle, good angle. It's not just flat in there, it's at the angle, so when you pick it up, you can see it kind of falls in the front a little bit, and that's exactly what it's made for. So when you have it in the hand, it's flat against your hand, really comfortable. This is not as good and comfortable, to be honest. The tube, the weakest point of it, now replaced with the flexible hose. So it's metal, it's really durable hose, and even if you drop it, which I don't recommend, it's kind of for its warranty, but we still help these people. If you drop it, and even if it bends like really significantly, if the motor goes against the tank, you're good, nothing happens. I mean, most of the time it's just because this is like really flexible. You can see if it's deformation, with the movement, it doesn't really matter. And what else? Let me take this guy down. One of the big improvements, of course, is the cooling system. That's why it's called Cool Tooty. Of course, it's the second reason. The main reason is just because the compressor is cool, like really cool. Yeah, the cooling, additional cooling here right on the top of the cylinder, it does a lot of work right here in this area, and that's exactly where it gets all the temperature. And there's the reason radiator is on top of it, and has the same. It's been the same from the first generation, but sometimes this radiator is not enough unless you have like direct air blowing on it to really cool the compressor for long hours of work. And that's why this guy now has the really nice, and you can see it's really professional and clean and high quality materials here. So this is the plastic cover to protect you from sticking fingers into the vent, and it's cooling. I mean, we've been running those guys for hours and hours and hours, and I mean like hours. And the video playing showing how we got this temperature checked, starting from the 5 to 15 to 30 minutes to 1 hour to hour and a half to 2 hours and up to 8 hours. We've been just running this guy and had no issues with the temperature at all. The low noise level, which I already mentioned, is important. It's quiet compressor. As I can see, it's read just under 60 decibel from around 3 feet. This is the distance between the compressor and where the camera stands. And that's what you're gonna get. So of course, if you have it in front of you on the table, maybe it's a little too loud for some people, but as you saw before, I can still speak normally. I would just keep it, this compressor is under the table kind of unit. And when it's inside on the table, you can operate with your friends, so really it's all fine. It's quiet enough not to bother your neighbors, or even if you're in an apartment complex, the flex feed kind of takes away the vibration from what the compressor goes to the floor. So it's all taken care of there in terms of noise level. And of course, one of the most significant improvements is this plastic cap now on the moisture trap rod. So this is the valve where you push it up to clean the moisture of this moisture trap. Depends where you're located. In Florida, we use it a few times a day if you run the compressor often. And now it's so comfortable. Instead of the metal part, you have the plastic cap. It's so comfortable, even the kid could do it.
Yes, I can do it all day long. Ew, it's wet.
So on top of all that, the compressor itself, it has exactly the same procedure we've been doing since 2019, and that's one of the first kind of entry to market points which our customers really appreciated. This is made in China, and unfortunately we still couldn't find a way around it to get it closer, just because the price point will be like times more different. And we have the quality inspection here in Florida, and to assure that every single unit gets being checked by somebody with American passport right here in Florida, is they come without any stickers. I mean, except for the actual model sticker right here with the saying the characteristic of it. That's the only sticker comes standard on it. This sticker is being applied here in the States. So we have the procedure for it, and it's still out there. As you can see, Bertie goes all the way up there to grab one of the boxes of those fresh compressors, brings it down, pulls out of the box, and what? It's completely black. There's no stickers, no original name sticker on it. So that's something we do here locally for every compressor. We plug them in. We're making sure it meets all the pressure standards for this compressor, the noise level standards, and we also check the auto start function. So we're gonna let some air up to builds up the pressure and turn itself off. That's what they all should do, which set to 4.5 bar for this compressor. So when the pressure drops to 3.5, it starts, builds up the pressure, and then turns itself off, shuts it off. It's 4.5 bar. So when you open the box, you probably see the round sticker saying inspected by, and you also see the sticker on the compressor, at least one of those stickers. None of them we ever sent to China. None of those designs they have in China, so they all made here in the United States and all applied here in the United States. So that's how you know that your compressor being out of the box, checked, and ensure the quality. And of course, the old warranty, anything happens with it, which is really rare case, but if you're going to be one of those really lucky people who had run into some issues with the defect rate, by the way, is really low. I mean, we've been selling these compressors for 3 years, I think. There was this particular, the previous model, second generation, and thousands of it was sold. It was really low rate of defects. And so if you run into any issues, technical issues, which we cannot help you over the phone, because surprisingly there's sometimes actually cases where the regulator was not open correctly or something like that, and we can solve it over the phone, but there's really really technical issue with that, what's going to happen, we're going to take it back to Florida and take 48 hours, up to 48 hours, to inspect it. If we inspect it and know we can fix it quickly, well, we're probably going to fix it and send it to you. If no fix available, we don't have time to jump on it right away, you're just going to get a new compressor. That's easier for us. We'll send you a new unit, still with the old warranty kind of running on it, and voila, you have the working compressor. We understand how it's important for you. We know we're all painters here. The whole spray gunner team is some kind of a painter from out here or there, and we understand that you have to have the working equipment for your project, for your hobby or profession, whatever you do there. There's so many different areas where this compressor is used. I won't even dare to start talking about this in this video. From scale modeling, fine art, custom painting, up to the taxidermy and fishing lures. There's a lot of areas where the compressor is used. We're actually using it for our laser. We have the laser here in our facility, and to improve the cooling on the laser, which if you have any experience with lasers, it's required. We replaced it with the Tooty, and it's great. It's much more powerful and better cooling laser is performing much better. And as I use, not airbrush related, but still, the same model fits there. And of course, all the standard features which you would expect from the compressor like this are present. We have the regulator, we can adjust the pressure right here. We have the moisture trap, which touch base on it already. We have the safety valve right here, so the compressor by itself, the motor is not shutting off automatically and it builds too much pressure to avoid, the tank blowing up. Safety valve right here, so it's just gonna start letting air out of the compressor, not to build too much pressure, so you can sleep. Well, don't sleep with compressor, but you can be sure that you have no problem there. We have, of course, the standard drain plug right there, and don't forget to use it, please. It can be a big problem if you don't use it and let the water sit in the tank. It can go all the way through the tank, build up the rust, and it'll be a disaster because the compressor. We have replacement tanks now, pretty expensive. They're like half the price of the compressor. It's expensive to bring heavy and empty container, pretty much import air from overseas, especially with all the pricing going on now. It's really crazy. So keep your tank safe, drain it, make sure it's all dry inside. If you have rust coming out, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just you don't want to build it up for weeks and months, so it goes all the way through, it rusts all the way through. The seal, the weld seal here, that's the weak spot. It's gonna rust through it if you don't take care of it, if you don't drain it. And of course the usage itself, so it's pretty stable on the fit. As you can see, that's what I can do with that. And still some people manage to knock them down. That's why the flex hose again helps with that. 1/8 connector, that's standard for most of the airbrush brands out there. Same as airbrush, and that's what we're choosing, because some competitors they go with the 1/4. We choose 1/8 side because it's beneficial for those who wants to use some airbrush accessories they already have direct on compressor. And so yep, this is the Cool Tooty. We took it apart completely, we understand how it's made, how it's built, and what can be wrong with it. So if you have any issues, make sure give us a call. If we can help, we'll take it back. As I mentioned, really rare scenario. Normally people just getting them and enjoying and writing all those good reviews you see online for those compressors. What else? I think that's it. I think it's time to end this video, and thank you for watching. Get one of those at spraygunner.com right now, and I'll see you in the next video.